Have you ever felt a sudden urge to help someone? What if that was more than just a random thought? Many of us go through life without realizing that God might be speaking to us in subtle ways. This video explores how divine communication can happen without us even noticing. God's voice isn't always loud or obvious. Sometimes it's a quiet whisper that we might easily miss if we're not paying attention. These subtle signs can be powerful messages if we learn to recognize them. It's not about hearing a booming voice from the sky, but rather noticing the gentle nudges and quiet promptings that guide us in our daily lives. The world around us is full of beauty and wonder. Nature itself can be a canvas for divine messages. The intricate patterns in a leaf, the vibrant colors of a sunset, or the rhythmic sound of waves crashing on a shore, all of these could be ways that God communicates with us. When we take the time to appreciate the natural world, we might find deeper meanings and messages hidden in plain sight. Sometimes divine communication comes through unexpected kindness from others. Have you ever had a stranger show up at just the right moment to help you, or received an unexpected act of kindness that seemed too perfectly timed to be coincidence? These encounters might carry spiritual significance. They remind us of the interconnectedness of all people and the potential for goodness in every interaction. Our subconscious mind can also play a role in spiritual communication. Dreams and gut feelings might be more than just random brain activity or emotional responses. They could be channels through which divine guidance flows. Learning to trust our instincts and pay attention to our dreams might open up new avenues for understanding spiritual messages. Life often presents us with patterns and coincidences that seem too perfect to be mere chance. You might think of a long-lost friend, only to have them call you moments later. Or you might keep seeing the same number everywhere you look. These synchronicities could be signs of divine communication. By staying aware and open-minded, we can start to notice these moments in our daily lives and consider their potential significance. Music and art have long been recognized as powerful forms of expression that can touch our souls. But what if they're more than just human creations? Creative works might carry spiritual messages that resonate with us on a deep level. A song lyric that speaks directly to your situation, or a painting that moves you to tears. These could be ways that God communicates through human creativity. Life's challenges can be difficult to face, but they might also be opportunities for growth and learning. What if the obstacles we encounter are actually guidance in disguise? By shifting our perspective, we can start to see how even tough times might contain valuable lessons or nudge us in new directions. This doesn't mean that hardships are always sent as divine messages, but it encourages us to look for meaning and growth in all of life's experiences. Sometimes divine wisdom comes to us through the words of others. Have you ever received advice that seemed oddly fitting for your situation? Or had a conversation that gave you exactly the insight you needed? These moments might be more than just coincidence. By staying open to the idea that God can speak through anyone, we can recognize wisdom and guidance in unexpected places. Personal reflection plays a crucial role in tuning in to subtle spiritual messages. Taking time for quiet contemplation allows us to process our experiences and listen to our inner voice. This doesn't have to be formal meditation. It could be as simple as taking a few minutes each day to sit in silence and reflect. By cultivating self-awareness, we become more attuned to the subtle ways divine guidance might be reaching us. When we start to notice these potential signs and messages, it's important to consider how we respond. Taking action on spiritual insights can lead to personal growth and positive changes in our lives. This doesn't mean blindly following every thought or feeling, but rather thoughtfully considering the guidance we receive and how it aligns with our values and beliefs. Building a stronger connection with the divine is an ongoing process. There are many practices that can enhance our spiritual awareness and create more space for divine communication in our daily lives. This might include regular prayer or meditation, spending time in nature, engaging in creative activities, or participating in community service. The key is finding practices that resonate with you personally and help you feel more connected to something greater than yourself. As we become more aware of the subtle ways God might be speaking to us, we often find that these messages have been there all along. It's not about suddenly developing psychic abilities or hearing voices. It's about opening our hearts and minds to the possibility of divine guidance in our everyday experiences. This awareness can bring a sense of comfort and purpose to our lives. Knowing that we're not alone in our journey and that guidance is available if we're open to it can be deeply reassuring. It can help us navigate difficult decisions, find meaning in our experiences, and feel more connected to the world around us. However, it's important to approach this topic with balance and critical thinking. Not every coincidence or gut feeling is necessarily a divine message. It's okay to question and discern, using our reason alongside our spiritual intuition. The goal is not to become paranoid or see signs in everything, but rather to cultivate an open and aware mindset that allows us to recognize genuine guidance when it comes. One way to develop this discernment is to pay attention to patterns over time. A single coincidence might not mean much, but if you notice recurring themes or messages in various aspects of your life, it might be worth paying closer attention. This could be recurring dreams, repeated encounters with certain ideas or symbols, or consistent intuitions about a particular situation. It's also helpful to consider the fruits of following perceived guidance. Does acting on these intuitions lead to positive outcomes, personal growth, or a sense of peace? Or does it lead to confusion, harm, or discord? While we can't always judge the value of guidance by its immediate results, over time we can learn to recognize the difference between authentic spiritual insights and our own wishful thinking or fears. Developing a regular practice of gratitude can enhance our ability to recognize divine communication. By actively looking for things to be thankful for, we train our minds to notice the positive aspects of our lives. This heightened awareness can make us more receptive to subtle signs and messages that we might otherwise overlook. Journaling is another powerful tool for recognizing patterns and insights in our lives. By regularly writing down our experiences, thoughts, and feelings, we create a record that we can look back on. This can help us notice recurring themes, track our spiritual growth, and recognize how seemingly unrelated events might be connected in meaningful ways. It's worth noting that different people might experience divine communication in different ways. For some, it might come primarily through nature or creative inspiration. For others, it might be more about interpersonal connections or inner intuitions. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to recognizing these messages. Part of the journey is discovering the unique ways that resonate with you personally. Learning to recognize divine guidance doesn't mean we'll always have clear answers to life's questions. Sometimes the message might be to sit with uncertainty or to trust the process even when we can't see the end result. Developing spiritual awareness often involves becoming more comfortable with mystery and learning to find peace even in unclear situations. As we become more attuned to subtle spiritual messages, we might find that our perception of the world changes. We might start to see connections where we once saw only random events. We might develop a greater sense of wonder and appreciation for the small details of life. This shift in perspective can lead to a richer, more meaningful experience of daily life. However, it's important to maintain a balanced approach. Being open to divine guidance doesn't mean abandoning reason or personal responsibility. We still need to make decisions, solve problems, and take action in our lives. The goal is to integrate spiritual awareness with practical living, allowing divine guidance to inform and enrich our choices without becoming passive or overly dependent on perceived signs. Developing this awareness can also lead to a greater sense of compassion and connection with others. As we recognize the potential for divine communication through people and experiences, we might become more patient, more willing to listen, and more open to different perspectives. This can improve our relationships and help us contribute positively to our communities. It's also worth considering how our own actions might be vehicles for divine communication to others. Just as we receive unexpected kindness or timely advice, we might be prompted to offer the same to someone else. By following these promptings, we participate in the cycle of giving and receiving spiritual guidance. As we continue on this journey of spiritual awareness, it's important to be patient with ourselves. Recognizing divine communication is a skill that develops over time. There might be periods where we feel very attuned to these messages, and other times where we feel disconnected or unsure. This ebb and flow is a natural part of the process. One way to stay grounded in this practice is to regularly review and reflect on our experiences. We might set aside time each week or month to look back on events, conversations, or insights that stood out to us. This reflection can help us recognize patterns, reinforce our learning, and maintain our commitment to staying open to divine guidance. It's also helpful to connect with others who are interested in spiritual growth. Sharing experiences, asking questions, and learning from each other can provide support and new perspectives. This could be through joining a spiritual community, participating in discussion groups, or simply having open conversations with trusted friends. As we develop our ability to recognize divine communication, we might find that it influences various aspects of our lives. It might inform our career choices, guide our personal relationships, or inspire us to pursue certain goals or projects. This guidance often aligns with our deepest values and helps us live more authentically. However, it's important to remember that recognizing divine guidance doesn't mean our lives will be free from challenges or difficult decisions. We might still face hardships, make mistakes, or feel unsure about our path at times. The difference is that we approach these situations with a sense of trust in a larger process and a willingness to look for meaning and growth opportunities even in difficult circumstances. Developing spiritual awareness can also lead to a greater sense of purpose and meaning in life. As we recognize the interconnectedness of our experiences and the potential for divine guidance in everyday moments, we might feel a stronger sense of being part of something larger than ourselves. This can provide comfort during tough times and inspiration to live more fully. It's worth noting that the concept of divine communication isn't limited to any specific religion or belief system. People from various spiritual backgrounds, as well as those who consider themselves spiritual but not religious, might experience these subtle forms of guidance. The key is being open to the possibility and willing to explore what it means in your own life. As we conclude this exploration of how God might speak to us without us realizing, it's important to emphasize that this is a personal journey. What resonates as divine communication for one person might not for another. The goal is not to force a particular interpretation of events, but to cultivate an open, aware, and discerning approach to life. By paying attention to the quiet whispers, the beauty of nature, unexpected kindness, our dreams and intuitions, patterns and coincidences, creative inspiration, life's challenges, wisdom from others, and our own inner reflections, we open ourselves to a richer, more spiritually attuned way of living. This awareness doesn't require dramatic changes or supernatural experiences. It's about finding the extraordinary in the ordinary, recognizing the potential for divine guidance in our everyday lives. As we practice this awareness, we might find that our lives become infused with greater meaning, purpose, and connection. Remember, this is an ongoing process of growth and discovery. There's always more to learn, more ways to deepen our awareness, and more opportunities to recognize divine guidance. By staying open, curious, and willing to explore, we continue to evolve in our understanding of how God might be speaking to us, even when we don't initially realize it. As you move forward from this video, consider how you might apply these ideas in your own life. What areas of your experience might you pay more attention to? How might you create more space for reflection and awareness in your daily routine? What practices resonate with you and might help you become more attuned to subtle spiritual messages? These questions aren't meant to add pressure or create anxiety about missing signs. Instead, they're invitations to approach life with a sense of openness, wonder, and receptivity to the possibility of divine guidance. As you explore this awareness in your own way, you might find that your perception of the world and your place in it begins to shift in meaningful and enriching ways. Remember that this journey is unique for each person. There's no need to compare your experiences to others or worry if you're doing it right. The key is to stay true to your own path, values, and intuitions, while remaining open to growth and new understandings. As you go about your day, consider the possibility that divine guidance might be present in ways you haven't noticed before. It might be in the smile of a stranger, the words of a song, the beauty of a flower, or a quiet moment of clarity. By cultivating this awareness, you open yourself to a deeper, richer experience of life and the potential for ongoing spiritual growth. Thank you for exploring this topic. May your journey of recognizing divine communication be filled with insight, growth, and meaningful discoveries.